Memories of Childhood by Gertrude Simons, born in pen name Zitkala-Sa and Bama. It is included in the syllabus of class 12 English core book Vitas, presented by K.T. retired VP and AU KBS. There are two stories about it is an autographical element and excerpt from there, right? They are from the secondary communities, two accounts, autobiographical episodes of two women from marginalized communities who look back on their childhood. So first account is from Zitkala-Sa. She is American Indian woman named Gertrude Simons, born in and with pen name Zitkala-Sa. She discusses the topic, the cutting of her long hair when she was taken to her school. The first day in Land Apple, her school, her tired spirit struggling for its lost freedom. Now she was kept under strict rules of that institution. The situation described here is bitter cold, snow-covered ground, bare trees, loud voices of bell for the breakfast, irritating clatter of shoes, clash of harsh noises. These are the childhood remembrance that she still bears and wants to share. Zitkala-Sa felt ill ease in breakfast hall. She looked at a pale-faced woman with white hair coming, facing in a line of girls marching in the hall. Here I would tell to the students that I have taken out the expressions, the key lines. Complete sentences and explanation has not been given. This has been done intentionally to promote note making. They are advised to read the lesson with pencil in their hand and take out the main points from there as enlisted in this case, and this will learn this, put this habit, this will learn this technique and use in the other subjects of their studies, whether it may be in science or humanities or the commerce stream, whichever may be with them. So Indian girls with stiff shoes, aligning dresses, singled hair, sleeved aprons, walked slowly in soft moccasins, looked hard to others who seemed not to care as she was immodestly dressed. It was the first day of Zitkala-Sa in the school. She spied the three boys entering from opposite door. First bell tapped. Pupils drew chairs, but author drew chair and sat. She did not know the customs in practice. Others kept standing. No chair was occupied by any except her. She felt shy because chairs were drawn by all and everybody was standing. She thought chair is drawn to sit, so she sat. Now she felt shy. Second bell tapped. All occupied their seats. Nobody listened to a man's voice from the end of the hall. Pale-faced woman was glancing at the author. Third bell tapped. Everybody started eating with a spoon and fork. It was difficult for her to start in that way. Now here, see, I have intentionally put different colors to remark the points, and some illustrations, related illustrations has also been given, pictures have been given, so that the student may retain the learnt points there and comprehend the lesson properly and have retention of the learned points for longer time till their exam and even after that. Hardest trial. Friend Judin, she had a friend Judwin, warned about their plan to cut her long hair. She was foretold that her hair will be cut. Author not to submit due to mother's preaching. Now, in her culture, from where she has come, unskilled warriors, mourners, and antisocial elements are punished by haircut. That means haircut is given in three conditions. Either somebody has died in the family, then haircut is given, or if someone has gone antisocial, has done something wrong to the society, or the warriors who has run away from the field are punished by cutting hair, taking around the society like that. So they were discussing their fate. People, Judwin said, we have to submit because they are strong. She answered no. She would not submit. She would struggle first. It was the plan of Zitkala-Sa. She waited for her chance. When no one noticed, she disappeared. That means students were made to wait for their turn for haircut. After some time, she disappeared from there unnoticingly. She crept up the stairs quietly. When she was turning aside to an open door, she found a large room, 3 white beds in it. The windows were covered with dark green curtains. She crawled under the bed, huddled herself to a dark corner. She peered out, shuddering with fear. Then in hall loud voices were calling her name. Judwin was also searching her. She had hid herself so that she might escape the haircut. When women and girls entered the room, she held her breath, watched them open closet doors, peeped behind large trunks. Some threw up the curtains. Room was filled with sudden light. She was caught. She resisted by kicking and scratching wildly. She lost her spirit. She cried aloud, shaking her head. She felt the cold blades of scissors against her neck, heard them gnaw off one of her thick braids, the lock of hair, tuft of hair of her head. Since the day she was taken away from her mother, she suffered extreme indignities. People had stared at her. She had been tossed about in the air like a wooden puppet. Her long hair was singled like a coward. She did not forget all these. Now, second account from Bama. She is a Tamil Dalit writer. Her pen name is Bama. Topic: We too are human beings. This is the topic she has written. Again, it is the memories of childhood. When she was studying in third class, She hadn't heard people speaking openly of untouchability. One day she was walking home from school. An old bag was hanging from her shoulder. It would take half an hour to draw all long distance at home to home. Watching the fun and games, all the entertaining novelties and oddities in the street, performing monkeys, the snakes, which the snake charmer kept in box. She enjoyed all these things on way to her home. The cyclist who had not got off his bike for 3 days. This was very popular in those days. The spinning wheels, the Marietta temple, the huge bell hanging there, the dried fish stall by the statue of Gandhi, selling needles, clay beads, etc. These were the attractions in the market area through which she went to her home, and these were attractions which took her half an hour to an hour to reach her home. Instruments for cleaning out the ears. Person sitting there with needle-like thing to clean the ears. This is instrument. People from various political parties would arrive, put up a stage. These all stopped her from going home. Gazing at all this, one day she came to her street. The landlord watched the proceedings, seated on a piece of sacking spread over a stone ledge. An elder of her street came along from the direction of the bazaar. The manner he was walking seemed that he wanted to double up. That means he wanted to speed up. He was in hurry to walk. She wanted to shriek with laughter, seeing a big man carrying a small packet in peculiar fashion. In fact, he kept that packet quite distant from his body, and he stretched his hand and held the packet in his fingers. She guessed there was something like badai or green banana bhaji in the packet because the wrapping paper was stained with oil. He held out the packet by its string at a distance as if he was trying to keep that off his body. The elder went straight up to the landlord. Cupping the hand, the landlord opened the parcel and began to eat badais. At last she went home. She narrated the scene to her brother and expressed her anguish over that. Her brother wisely pacified her. Her conversation with her elder brother enlightened her about the plight of Dalits and the attitude of the upper caste towards them. She was determined to fight for their cause and get them to be treated with dignity and respect. Her brother advised her to study sincerely. Her high academic performance would remove all such discriminations. She followed her brother's advice in right earnest and made a beginning in this direction by starting to pay attention to her education and excelling therein. And she did it. Now, comprehension questions based on both the topics are enlisted here. Students are advised to read these questions and find the answer from the notes that has been discussed in the preceding pages and write the answer in their notebooks for examination point of view. They should underline the key points in the answer, and as far as practical, they should be They should be writing the answers in points. Even though it is language, never mind, they should make points and underline it. Similar is the case with long answers. They should say contents of one type, that is related to one question, has been placed at one place. Color of the fonts has also been changed, suggestive of the key points, so they can find the answer very easily and prepare their answers from there. Like and subscribe for regular updates. You may also visit my website www.englishontipscom.